Hey, happy Monday, VCers. It's Matt again and continuing my Kinks reviews. So, this is a happy, cheerful, upbeat little album. We've got topics covered on here include John Kennedy's assassination, possible pedophile, spousal abuse, boredom, marriages gone south, psycho killers, kind of compares then modern day society to bread and circuses and feeding Christians to the lions in the Roman Colosseum. Sorry State of Commercial Radio gets a shout out there. And so, yeah, it's cheerful, upbeat, fun stuff. But on the plus side, it's all delivered in a good hard rock and really pop-tastic, radio-friendly 11 songs. And the album concludes with a genuinely sweet and heartfelt little ray of hope and one of the Kinks' best songs in years. So, yeah, give the people what they want. Released August 1981 in America, released January 82 in Europe. The delay was because Ray was hoping to put together a video project for this. This was sort of the dawn of MTV years, and he was wanting to put a video project together for the album and wanted to remix it some for the European market. But the financing fell through on that, so that never happened. This is, I think, basically the same album in Europe and America that ended up coming out. So, yeah, this went number 15 in the USA, so the Kinks comeback continues. This started with low budget, didn't really chart in England, don't know about the rest of the world. Now, a lot of the Kinks fans don't really like this period of the band's career too much because they feel that this is when the Kinks went too Americanized and too arena rock and too radio friendly, when they sort of dumbed down a lot of their sound to give the people what they want. I don't mind it. I like this stuff because, yes, sure, it's not as good as their glory days of the 60s. None of these albums are masterpieces like they were doing back in those days. None of these rank among the best albums of all time like those albums from the 60s do. But it's a lot more fun than what they were doing in the 70s. And again, like I said, with low budget, like I said with One for the Road, they really sound like they're having fun for the first time in years, that they're into playing and being the Kinks, and the subject matters on this album is pretty downbeat, a little bit depressing, but it's all done in a energetic, fun, upbeat, really catchy way song wise. So yeah, let's see. Chrissy Hynde, by the way, the Pretenders, sings backup on 3 or 4 of the songs on here. Dave Davies hated her. Ray was in love with her, and they were together. They were married for a short time. I think they were actually married about the time this album came out, but they broke up soon after. They had a daughter first. So, if you didn't know, Chrissy Hynde of the Pretenders is on this. So, what? Yeah, like I said, it is sort of not the 60s stuff, and it is sort of arena rock, but it's very catchy, and it's a lot better than what they were doing in the 70s, in my opinion. So I like these albums. And the other thing is, like I said, I really got into the Kinks when I was 16 in 1980, this 1981. So there's certainly a nostalgia factor, good memories of those days, and the Kinks were big part of the soundtrack of those days of my life. Those last few years of high school, first couple of years of college. So anyway, let's go through some of the songs. Here's the front. There's Ray running around. Back is just a title and the Kinks spray painted on a metal building there, side of a metal shed or something. Inside we've got just some snapshots of the band members, some information about production credits and so forth, and song listing, who plays on the record. Band is still on Arista Records at this point, as they will be for the next couple of albums. And did I say, let's see, this one, I already said that, went to number 15 in America. So this was a hit. I remember this back in, I don't know what I was in 10th grade or 10th or 11th grade or whatever when this came out. Remember A couple of these songs getting quite a bit of airplay. Remember this album being popular. Remember riding around in the car with friends and playing the cassette tape of it. And so yeah, we start off with Around the Dial. Really great opener, kind of an energetic, hard rocking, catchy song. Get you singing, get your toes a tapping. It's Ray singing about one of his favorite DJs that got fired. I don't know if it's a real person or if it's just someone he made up, but and how radio is getting to be calcified and boring and stodgy and stinking up the joint a little bit, kind of because of corporate ownership of radio stations and so forth, which is really funny because it's radio in 1981 was a hell of a lot better than it is nowadays, and so you wonder what Ray would make of radio, talking about regular radio, these last 10, 20, 30 years compared to 1981. Give the people what they want. Another upbeat, hard rocking song. There's a lot of guitar, there's a lot of energy, there's a lot of catchy kind of hard rock here throughout the album, with a couple of exceptions. There's really only two sort of slow ballad songs, but Give the People What They Want's another catchy song, and it's, I don't know if Ray's sort of tongue-in-cheek saying, referring back to things like Village Green and Arthur, that the public didn't buy those and they didn't sell, so I'll give the people what they want and write catchy hit songs that are radio friendly, which this one, Give the People, the title song, certainly is. So, yeah, Killer's Eyes slows things down a little bit, and it's about a killer, and I'm not sure. I read, and I can't remember, but I don't know if this is sort of a comment on John Lennon's assassination the previous year, or might even be referring to Hinckley's attempt on Reagan, which was 81, I think. I'm not sure, but I think it might be commenting on John Lennon and what was lost there because of some little idiot. Uh, Predictable. That's kind of the, boredom of everyday life song, which for being about boredom, it's actually a pretty catchy song. Nice song there. Added Up is kind of a relationship gone bad, which is funny because Ray and Chrissie Hynde would break up shortly after this album came out. So it almost sounds like it was written after the fact of the breakup, even though it wasn't. So that's side one. Side one's pretty solid. Good stuff. Side two opens with the song a lot of people call Paranoia, but it's actually called Destroyer. That's the song that mentions Lola. It's a song that steals the riff from All Day and All of the Night, one of the Kinks' greatest songs. A lot of energy. That one was on the radio quite a bit back in 81. Incredible, good song. Really love that. That's one of my favorite ones on here. Yo Yo is sort of the marriage gone south song. The couple that are, you know, lose track of each other and get bored with each other. It's an okay song. It's pretty good. Back to Front is also kind of like Yo Yo. It's in that same, just okay, not a bad song. Art Lover, really creepy song. Sounds like a pedophile in a park watching little girls. Takes a twist at the end when you realize that that's not really the case. It's just a guy who is divorced from his wife, and his wife got the custody of his daughter, so he doesn't get to see her anymore. So he misses his daughter, and so he's watching other little kids in the park because he misses his daughter, which is still a little creepy, but it's not quite as creepy as it sounds when you first start listening to the song and think it's just some pervy guy in a park. Um, Strange little song, but effective, I guess. A little bit of abuse is the always cheerful subject of spousal abuse, which, despite that, is a pretty catchy little song. And the album ends with the best song on here, really. Well, Destroyer would be the second best song, I guess. The best song on here, Better Things. Here's Wishing You the Bluest Skies, and sunshine and all that. And Ray actually seems hopeful and happy and genuine and not tongue-in-cheek, and I think that's why it works. Even though maybe he is putting us on a little, but he seems genuine. And it's a little ballad, but it kind of chugs along at a good pace. Great song, great way to end the album on a note of hope. Uh, Popular album, did well. I remember this on the radio, like I said. Good memories of this album. I would say low budget, probably like a little bit better than this song per song, but this is a solid effort. And the Kinks comeback continues, and they were really pretty big at this point, bigger than they had been since 64, 65 in the U.S. And so yeah, good one. Scale of 1 to 10, I give this I'll give it an 8. And check it out. It's a good one to get. And I will return with more Kinks reviews to come. We're gonna go all the way through, I guess. And so the soul contest, I'll say again, 20 seconds. So there's 8 days left of that to just name your favorite soul records or soul songs or soul artists. Basically, just talk about the soul music you like. It's kind of an open-ended on the rules there. Got 5 people that have entered. So get an entry in. You got a good chance of winning the prize with only 5 people in there so far. Have a good one, and let me see if think I've got everything that I wanted to say about this one. It's a good album. It's it's not their '60s stuff, but it's for what it is. It's pretty good, and good to see the Kinks back.